Hello everyone, it is December 1st, 2025, and we are back with our monthly analysis video. And this one is for November 2025, and this is the month where we did fall starting words for the whole entire month. And I'm here to go over it with you guys. So let's go over the guest distributions as usual. I'll go over the guest distributions for Squirtle with fall starting words as well, with the same word I start, but I'll go over that after I go over mine and Squirtle with slates first. So, here we go. So 0 fails for me both months, 0 sixes for me both months. Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's like the scroll so much. Okay. Alrighty. So 3 5s this month, whereas last month we had 6. So 3 better. Okay. 13 4s this month, whereas last month I had 11. So that's 2 more. 11 3s this month, whereas last month I had 12. So that's 1 less. And then 3 2s this month, whereas last month I had only 2, so that's 1 more. And then, of course, 0 1s both months. For Squirtle, it failed 0 times both. No, sorry. It failed 0 times this month, whereas last month it failed once. It did fail once last month. 0 6s this month, whereas last month they had 3, so that's 3 better than 7 5s this month, whereas last month they had 6, so that's 1 worse. 13 4s this month, whereas last month he had 11 4s, so that's 2 more. 10 3s this month, whereas last month they had 7, so that's 3 more. 0 2s somehow, very surprisingly, this month, whereas last month they had 3, so 3 less, and then of course 0 1s both months. Now, for the fall starting words, I'm not going to do differences between this month's fall starting words and last month's Halloween starting words. I'm not going to do that. Just going to read them off. So with the fall starting words, when it started with the same word that I started with that same day, it got 0 fails, 1 6, 8 5s, 15 4s, 6 3s, and then 0 1, 0 2s. Alright, so now it's time to go over the spreadsheet, and here you'll see a lot of red highlights because now I'm going to be starting to do this every month. I don't know if I've already been doing this by accident, but now I'm going to officially introduce it, where I'm going to be highlighting the rows of words that are not in the original answer list. So as you can see, this month we had 4 answers that are not in the original answer list, with Gizmo, Tinge, Colic, and Muggy. So I highlighted those in red. That green highlight there with deuce is I put similar luck because I got deuce from just a single green E in 3. Squirtle got deuce from a single yellow E in 3 guesses with my starting word. With Slate, it got a normal 4 guesser, but with my starting word, it got very lucky. It's similar to me. So that was a pretty interesting coincidence. We have a lot of 4 4 4, 3 3 3, 4 4 4, 3 3 3, 4 4 4s this month for some reason, which is kind of interesting. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes here because I kind of was earlier. I was going over them slowly. So that is that. We had so many trappy words this month. This month was tricky, especially the second half. We had a lot of trappy words. Maker got it in 5 guesses. Honestly, really good for a word like that. Colic in 5, honestly, also really good for a word like that. Very tricky word that I would have not thought of had I not had the game not made me dig through the depths of my brain, because I was losing all the possible words. And then Muggy, another word that's actually not in the original answer list that we had, which is kind of weird. That word wasn't in the original answer list, so that's why I was able to get that in a pretty quick 4 guesses. Actually, I took 4 guesses on all non-original answer list words except Colic. And Colic in my, well, Colic or Gizmo, which one is trickier, I don't know. At least for me, definitely the trickiest one was Colic. Alright, so let's go over the scores and the stats here. So 106 score for me, 117 for Squirtle, and 124 with my fall starting word. 3.53 average for me, 3.9 for Squirtle, so it stayed under a 4, which is good. With my fall starting words, it got to a 4.13 average though. Median in all situations, a 4. That's usually a 4. That's barely a 3. I had a 3 when I had a 3.03 average. I had a median of 3. Standard deviation, 0.81 for me, 0.75 for Squirtle. Really good because he only had 3s, 4s, and 5s this month. I also had some 2s, which is why my standard deviation is a little bit higher than Squirtle's. And here, this one was interesting. It somehow only got a 0.76 standard deviation with the fall starting words, even though it had a 6. I would think it'd be similar to mine, but I don't know. Well, it was only 1 6, though. That's true. For me, it was 3 2s, so actually that makes sense. Taking it, so if it had like 2 6s, this might have been a 0.78 or something. All right, quartiles. This is interesting. Oh, first quartile, 3 for me and Squirtle, but with the fall starting words for Squirtle, I got a first quartile of 4, which is but it did have 15 4s, so that's probably why. Third quartile here, 4 for me, 4.25 for Squirtle, which is a very weird number. We've had 5, I think we've even had a 5.25. I don't remember having a 4.25, but that might just be my brain. I don't remember. And then third quartile of 5 with the fall starting words for Squirtle. IQR, 1, 1.25, 1. This is still a 1 because these are just an increment of 1 of each. So this stays at a 1. Mode, in all cases a 4. This is, after a while, I got a mode of 4 again by just 1 or 2, by 2. Because I had 13 4s, 11 3, so it's by a difference of 2. Last month actually was a difference of 1, where I got a mode of 3. Alright, so let's go to the differences now. So here are the differences. The differences are pretty interesting this month. So 8 better for me, 9 better for Squirtle. Both did better. 0.14 average better for me, 0.16 better for Squirtle. This is all with Slate. I decided to not do the differences for fall starting words versus Halloween starting words. I think that's kind of stupid. Let's see. Median 0 for both. It's a 4. It's usually the case. 0.05 better for me, standard deviation wise. For Squirtle, it's a whopping 0.47 better. That's huge. 0.47 better. That's huge. It had like a 1.11 average or standard deviation or something like that. 1.11, 1.12 or something. That's why I got so much better. Okay. And then, let's see here. First quartile just stays the same. These ones are a weird number, 0.75. By default, I thought it'd be 0.25 4s because it's just, it's usually 3, 4, 1, 4, this part, but the first quartile, the quartiles in the mode, but it actually had a third quartile of 5 last month and a IQR of 2. So that's why these were 0.75 improvements. Not the full 1 because it didn't get the 4 1. It got 4.25, 1.25. Got the extra 0.25 in there. So 0.75 better for the third quartile IQR, and then the mode, it just stayed the same. And for me, 1 worse because I was having a mode of 3 for some months. So there you go. That is this month's analysis video. If you have any questions or comments, please put those below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.